Hey guys, here we are, and Chiseled Face Midnight Stag is the soap, splash, and cologne as usual for Austere August. We are drawing near to the end. One more shave. After this one, the Nacet 300 plus, 200, and then 73. So 573 is the current count. We're going to add one more to that right now. B13 knot, Declaration Grooming. The handle is Briar Brushworks and the brush side of Southern Witchcraft. Dogwood Handcrafts. And it's a hybrid handle from them. I've said it now like 28 times, and it's late at night, so it's about time to go to bed. So maybe that's why we'll say that's why my brain is having a problem. Timeless open comb, stainless steel razor, 68 gap. Different light today than usual, different location. Got a big fluorescent light up here, and so it's quite bright. Hopefully that will give good detail for you guys. Means I have to turn things a certain way to get the light to hit them just right. Showing you the markings and the little bend in the blade down here. You can even see how the very corner of the blade slightly bent when I dropped it a while back. I don't have any plans for today's shave. Probably just going to do a kind of a relaxing bowl lather where we just kind of play it by ear and try to hit it about right. Try not to spend too much time doing stuff. Get my face wet. All right. So the soap is as usual. Yeah, boy, I bet that lighting is giving you guys a lot more detail than usual. I've had I'm traveling, and so I use my lather bowl here as the soaking cup for my brush. So let's pour all that out. Get rid of some of the water. 10, 13. I'm not superstitious. We'll just go with that. And I'll pour the excess moisture from the soap tub. I don't have the benefit of the nice pivoting mirror that the camera usually sits on to give you a better view of things, so we'll just make do. However, I'm going to pause you. I think I need to tilt you a little bit. See if that's a little bit more straight up and down. Very bubbly and airy right away. And if you add water right now, if you know that it's going to need a certain amount, like 2 teaspoons, then it'll stay bubbly for a while, and it'll take you a minute to kind of work everything out. Or you can just keep working with what you have, and it'll kind of stabilize, and then you can add water. You can kind of pick which way you like. If you find that one has an advantage over the other, I don't think it matters too much for the end of lather that you're going to have. I've done both methods, and it seems to be pretty much the same lather, and now we've got something that looks pretty decent, but it's too airy. It needs water. So I'm going to start a little trickle here Add a little bit of water. Mix for a bit. Add a little bit more. Maybe I've added a teaspoon by now. Maybe not. So my friend Ravi, here's something we can talk about while we work the lather. He just commented recently on one of my old throwback videos where I found an old video and then posted it online, and it was my early days. One of the first shaving memories I remember was ordering from Sterling Soaps their samples. Their samples come in maybe 1 ounce puck slices, which is a lot. A lot of people get a month of uses out of those things. And now you can see how my volume has increased in my lather here. It's definitely got some movement to it. Looks a lot better. And add some more water here. But what was interesting was my technique was just beginning. I had taken those Sterling samples and I had blindly put them in different canisters that were numbered so I could do a blind evaluation of the scents without paying attention to the descriptions, you know. And that was fun. That was fun. I don't do that very often at all. But that was something I did in the very early days, and so it's funny. And then my angle back then was very handle parallel with the skin, which means a higher or greater or larger blade angle. Nowadays, it's much more a smaller blade angle to the skin. And then I was doing longer strokes. And I even mentioned in that video how I kind of felt like it wasn't super smooth on my skin, and that my lather was way too dry. Oh man, that's just, but you know, we all have to start out somewhere. At least back then I had the wisdom to not tell people you need to duplicate me. I was just telling what I was doing at the time. It'd be interesting to go back and see when I really started to appreciate truly hydrated lathers. Speaking of which, is this guy ready to go? I think he probably is. Put a little water on my face. Somebody on the Shave Bazaar on Reddit, great place to sell or buy or trade used shaving products. Some of them are new. Get a great deal on some used stuff. I have done that many times. I've only been shafted one time with a guy who looked like he had a very good shave history. Looked at his profile, looked at the number of posts he had done over time, but then he took my money. I did not use the PayPal I did not use the PayPal goods and services. That would have gotten me my money back. But I lost money on that one. It's unfortunate. But everything else, I've gotten so much good stuff from there. It's very, it's a lot of fun. And I was reading about a new Umo knot, the Z3. Apparently there's been a Z1, a Z2, and now there's a Z3. And I think they said the Z3 was a silver tip or a 3-band type knot. But it's like more than $100. So, nope. I would, if I were to research it and get a lot of good reports on it, because I do love a good 3-band. A 3-band from Whipped Dog is going to cost you maybe $40, and they're pretty nice. Now the one at Umo there looked like it was a little nicer, but that's a steep price. I'd have to save up for quite a while to afford that one. One thing you can do with your lather just for fun is to put it on your face and then just let it sit for a little bit. If it dries out after just a few minutes and becomes kind of bubbly and airy, then you know that you could definitely hydrate it more if you wanted to. Now, I'm not saying that's what you should do, because maybe you like it dry and airy. This hobby has room for everybody. I'll tell you what, I have a lot more light to be able to shave by. I am pretty sure that after this I just have one more shave for August. And that'll be done. I will still continue to use the Nacet blade. Probably keep using the timeless razor. I might experiment with some other razors to see if there's another one that will hold this blade and work well with it. But I kind of did that 100 uses ago or something, and boy, nothing came close. One of the things I've been thinking about is taking my shave logs for this blade and making them, putting them on my website, making them available in case anybody wants to read. But they're, some of them are just kind of boring, great shave today, that kind of thing, because it just needed to be a fast shave. But, there might be some of you shave aficionados out there that might, maybe I could go through and make highlights, only pick certain ones, or put a filter on the web page that says, show them all if you want to see it would have links to all the different YouTube videos. But my playlist for YouTube that says Blade Marathons, that's basically all the Nacet. There are some other blades on there, like the Feather, that I've got a good many uses on. So it's not only the Nacet, but it really is mostly the Nacet. So in a way, I don't need to provide all the links. However, I could maybe mark some, just show them all in case somebody wants that info. Like, I looked back and I was able to find the exact date and shave number where I dropped the blade. I was able to see which, and that was within a couple of weeks of when I inadvertently switched the blade and used the wrong side. It's an okay lather. It could probably use maybe a little bit more water, but it's all right. Nice cool water I'm using today, and I like that because it's soothing to my face right now. Shout out to Robert's Classic Shaves. I believe he's in Croatia. We've spoken a bunch in the comments. Good to bring. I don't know what kind of wet shaving community they have. I mean, in terms of what percentage of the population, shaves this way. I know in America it is the minority. I mean, but there are a lot of us, but it's still quite a minority. Maybe Croatia might even have a higher percentage than, because it is a really good budget way to shave. I know Croatia has been through in past decades, right? Well, that was Bosnia, Herzegovina, Croatia. I think it's near there, but I think I remember there's being some horrible fighting in that area decades ago or something. So if times are tough for some people, then this is a good way to shave. As you can see, we continue to have plenty of lather. I've got here, I can make another pass out of what you see in the brush here, and probably 2 more passes in the bowl. I think this might be my 5th pass. Let's do that kind of upward slanting motion. Under this good light, I can get some nice peeks at my stubble and skin and stuff. I'll be looking to try to buy a house in a couple of months. So that presents me with the opportunity to kind of redo my shaving scenario. I don't know if I'll be able to have a bathroom all to myself, or whether I'll need to kind of keep my shave gear all in some other location. When I was renting a room a while back, I was using a pitcher of water and a basin, a bowl in front of me, and I didn't have a faucet. And the nice thing was I had this shelf right in front of me, and I had just everything. I had examples of everything. And so if I was talking about a 3-band knot or a 2-band knot, I could quickly just grab it and show it to you. If I was talking about an injector razor or another kind of razor, an old type versus a fatip, I had examples of those things within reach, and I could grab them and show you. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm going to pause you so I can use this good light and check out the quality of my shave. My cheeks are okay, but under my neck I can kind of see some stubble, and that doesn't pass muster. So let's do some more touch-up work down there. You can see all this lather that's flying off. I probably had a whole pass worth of lather come off my brush in this shave. Okay, so over here is probably okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I can do a little bit of that slicing motion. These smaller movements let me listen and feel. And when I repeat that movement, I can make micro adjustments right away. And I like that. Sometimes I get a very different shave if I purposely do the tugging with my hand instead of just the chin lift away. But still keeping a light touch. There we go. There we go. That straightened it up. We're done, so open up the razor, shake out the empty water after I've rinsed it out there. And then we can, how much lather did we have left? So the 13 swirls was plenty of lather to do a good number of passes, and I still have 2 or 3 more passes of lather here available. Let's clean this stuff out now. Everything is cleaned up. Here is the Midnight Stag cologne. Look at that. Getting down to the bottom third or bottom quarter. Then let's put on the splash first. Didn't really get a good rinse. But you know what? There are some people who actually don't rinse their face all the way, because a lot of these artisan soaps, a good quality soap, in a sense, part of it can be left on your face, is what some people are thinking, especially those soaps with moisturizing ingredients. I've heard a maker say, don't rinse it all off, because it does have those ingredients for a purpose there to maybe hang around, stay on your face, keep moisturizing. But it is a soap on the other hand, right? So I always feel like I need to get a really good rinse. But today, I'm just going to kind of do more of a wipe like you saw me do. And yeah, I just really like this shaped bottle. I just like it. I like whiskey and things like that. And it just has that, totally has that vibe to it. Okay, so then here's the Midnight Stag fragrance. And there we go. So, 30. Pretty sure this is the 30th shave, and we got one more. We'll keep using the blade. We'll keep using the razor. I've got some other soap samples. Now, some people get to the end of a month of Stag and they sell it because they don't ever want to see it again. And I can understand that. It's very polarizing, but I like strong masculine scents. And that's exactly what Midnight Stag is. And so I'm a big fan of it. But I'm also a big fan of using other soaps in my collection too. I brought some different ones with me. Another one of my favorites is Admiral. So you can kind of expect to see that one here in the next couple of weeks. Got some fun samples to play around with. Friend Ronnie sent me a couple, and right as I was grabbing the 2 samples to put in my travel bag, the Captain's Choice sample, I dropped both of them. And in my little computer area, everything's kind of so tight that one of them apparently rolled somewhere where I couldn't see it. But the Captain's Choice one did not. Barrister and Man Legrand Chypre, I believe, is the one that kind of rolled away. I'm sure I'll find it, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to find it right away. But the Captain's Choice will be fun. It is a sample, and so we'll be able to show how to lather a sample with the slurry lather method, and then we'll also be testing whether or not that Captain's Choice soap base will be slurry lather compatible. It reminds me a lot of the Chiseled Face soap base, and this is never slicker than when I use the slurry lather method. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same with the Captain's Choice. It's kind of an old school base, hard to stay really hydrated and really creamy at the same time. And so I'll bet it'll be great. I may have already tested it already, but hey, why not? Why not? I'm grateful for the sample, and there we go. Something cool, a little bit of trivia. If you use like a badger brush, for instance, it works for boars as well, and you put it in, let's pretend like this is your shaving brush travel tube. You put this down in your travel tube. It's a little damp, but you know that in several hours you're going to get to your destination. You'll be able to pull it out, right, and let it dry completely. Well, if you put it in damp, then it's going to look like right now. Some of the tips are kind of gathering together a little bit, and they're clumping just a small amount, and this doesn't feel, it feels soft, but there's this whole level of soft that you get when you do like I did. You take it over to the towel, make sure there's no standing water on it after your shave, you've already shaken it out, so you've done your best. You put it in travel tube, and so it could even have sat out for a couple of hours, but you know that deep down in the knot, there's still some moisture. So you put it in your travel tube, and you put the cover on it, travel for a few hours, get to where you're going, you pop it open, and what has happened is, I think it's really cool. What has happened is that moisture that was mostly down in the core of the knot has had a chance to equalize and spread everywhere, including the tips. And so those tips are now bunny fur soft, like softer than these right here. And I was messing with them just an hour ago because I had just arrived. And it's so neat to see that water dissipate and distribute itself among the fibers, and so the tips needed more hydration. They were drier because they had gone up against the towel, and so they were drier, and so via the air transfer and all that, the tips became more moist, and it was really cool to feel it. It was really neat. If you've never had that happen, then it works that way with boars as well. The tips just feel kind of unnaturally soft after you've traveled with a moist brush. I don't recommend doing that if you can help it. Let it sit out for as long as you can, or if you do travel with it wet, damp, then take it out as soon as you arrive so that you can let it dry, that kind of thing. Be kind to your natural hair brushes. That's it for today's shave. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves, Austere August, almost done. 574 now uses the Nacet has had. Take care. Good night.